Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. Doing some more work on the Tundra today. I just learned about the aFe Pro Dry S air filters, which I'm going to try one out, and hopefully we get some better gas mileage. I don't expect a whole lot more power, but they're not that expensive, and they'll pay for themselves in two uses. I've been using the Wix air filters, which, as tested, tend to be the most filtering. But they also lose the airflow pretty quickly, and I end up going through quite a few of them going off-road. So I'm hoping this aFe filter does the job. I'm also going to take out the charcoal filter, and I'm going to compare before and after gas mileage, and I'll give you some anecdotal information on just if it seems like there's more power, more noise, etc. I'm going to be doing a run that I take up to the mountains. This is middle of winter in Colorado, and we'll be going up there pretty soon, and I'll average out that mileage. I usually get about 14.5 on the way up and 15.5 on the way back, and that's with 35-inch tires, which isn't bad. I'm running a 4.6 in my Tundra, but I am running the Mickey Thompson pizza cutters, so they're very narrow 255 85 17s with some pretty lightweight method wheels. And that's why I'm able to get those numbers. But maybe we'll get another mile a gallon. Stay tuned, let's find out. Okay, there's the aFe, and there is the Wix kind of side by side. It looks like there's more pleating in the aFe, which is kind of cool. You can tell how close those are together. That should relate to more overall surface area and filtration, and that should help with airflow. The other thing would be, I still want to have good filtration, so holding it up against, like, right into the sun, it looks pretty good. It's not like there's any bright spots coming through. I mean, it's not hurting my eyes at all. Let's hold up the Wix. Now, the Wix actually has some bright spots in those corners, so maybe it even filters better than the Wix. And this Wix is still pretty new. I'm actually gonna hold on to it. It's got a little bit of dirt to it. I'm just gonna hold on to this so that when I'm waiting for the aFe to dry, if I'm cleaning it, I have a backup to work with. And this should last quite a while just as the backup. Here's the factory carbon filter, which there's like dust comes out when you hit it. So obviously I've used filters that didn't quite do their job. You can tell it's been glued back on. That's because I connected the top of my, this is my winch control module to the top of it. It's the only place I had space. And I had to get through this in order to get the through bolts in, which are red Loctited in case any of you is wondering if I'm crazy enough to put bolts that could go into the engine on the inside. Just a little bit, but the red Loctite should do it. So I'm gonna cut this silicone line on there and try to pry that thing out and then clean it up nice and good. And I'm kind of curious if there's any dirt behind there. We'll see how that Wix filter has been doing, because I've been running nothing but Wix since I changed that filter, or when I pulled this on and off. Let's just bang this thing up against the wall and see how dirty it is. That's not bad, actually. So those Wix filters have been doing a pretty good job. Just taking a look at the inside here. There's a little bit of, looks like a little bit of dust in there. Yeah, so there has been a little bit of dust getting through even with those Wix. Be curious how that looks. I'll do another follow-up on this after I've used the aFe for a while and see how it looks. Well, the silicone's coming up kind of easy, but it's in all these nooks and crannies, and got to make sure everything's out of there. I'm also gonna do a full wipe down of that dust. Really don't want to get anything into the engine, you know, could cause a serious issue. Got that nice and cleaned up, all the loose silicone's out of there, and then I just blew the rest of the dust out with my air hose and cleaned up nicely. Got that aFe drop in, it fits perfectly. It has really nice silicone rubber on the edge to make a really nice seal. I'm gonna go ahead and test drive it, just see what the initial impressions are right now. Don't mind my fingers just blocking the sun. Let's start this up, see if there's any initial changes. Sounds factory. Let's see how this goes. All right, it would be kind of cool if I get a little extra power out of this. I'm at the intersection from hell where they should have put a stoplight in but didn't, and I have to jump across like 4 lanes of traffic to go left here. So this is like the only place I ever wish my truck had more power. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna have to hit it pretty hard here. Here we go. Whoa! Just kidding. Felt about the same. I'm gonna see how the high RPMs are doing here pretty soon. We'll check back in a sec. All right, now that you saw how many G-forces my 4.6 pulls on low RPM, we're gonna try, let's go 3,000 RPM, hit it. Yeah, feels about the same. Let's start 4,000. If there's any difference in power, I wouldn't know. And I'm actually glad it sounds factory. I don't like loud engines. So didn't do anything for performance. That's fine, that's a win, as long as I don't get any losses. Would be kind of cool. We'll see if we get better gas mileage though when I go to my normal trip, driving like a grandpa in the mountains. All right, heading up to the mountains today. It's in the 40s, it'll probably be in the 20s up there. I'm gonna go ahead and top this sucker off at the gas station and we'll see how that air filter mod did on the miles per gallon. Make sure this test is equal. Yes, the last trip was probably the same temperature and I think I'm running the same HP. You know, these things give you extra HP, hauling pounds. We also have a loaded truck in the back. Last time I was elk hunting, I had the cooler, but we were going skiing this time. I think we're about the same. And to be really fair, I'm gonna make sure I bump these tires up to 50 PSI. I got my onboard air hookups right there and go get that set up. Yeah, we're a little low. Let's get that up to 50. Very nice. Gonna top off the tank here. Using the 88 ethanol free. That's what I use when I'm in town. Better for the engine. Got a 0 reading on the odometer next. Reset that and off to the races. Last time I did this trip, I got 13.4 miles a gallon with the first fill up, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we got 8.9 gallons.
Breaking weather report.
Use the 85 this time. And 122.9 miles. I'll do the math. And then, important thing to note when you're doing these maths and you have 35-inch tires and your factory tires were 32.5 inches, you need to calibrate the mileage difference based on, like, I use GPS. So if you go like 100 miles on GPS and your TAC only says 90 miles, for example, then that's a 10% difference. I calculated it for this truck and it's an 8% difference. So I'm gonna add 8% to whatever number I get there. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to see any noticeable difference, but I just did the math, and without compensating for the larger tires I have, which I did in the first round as well, before putting this air filter system in, I ended up with 13.8. And before, once I compensated, I was at 13.4. So I was getting like 12.5, then I'd compensate, I got 13.4. I already got 13.8, same stretch road, same temperatures, same driving style, same load, and it's up. So then I did the math and I'm at 14.91, and that's a pretty big gain. I can't wait to see what kind of gains we get on the way back. Okay, we just did one mountain pass, about 8,000 feet, up over 11,000, and then back down to 8. Let's do the math. 15.63 miles per gallon. That's amazing in the mountains in the wintertime, hauling the amount of weight we're carrying with these big tires. That's, dare I say, better than I got with 33s. All right, let's see how many gallons we get. Just got down the hill. We went over a pass from 8,000 up to about 11 and down to 6 in Denver now. I'm at 103 miles, 6.512. All right, guys, I did the math. 103 divided by 6.512 and then multiplied it by 1.08. Almost forgot to do that last part. That's that extra distance that needs to be accounted for with the bigger tires I have. So that puts us at 17, just over 17 miles a gallon, and I'm pretty stoked. I haven't had that kind of mileage since before I put all-terrain tires on it. I think that's even better than I got with my 33s. So even if you don't think MPGs matter, that's probably 2 miles a gallon improvement, maybe even more, and that adds up to real money. That's like more than $300 a year in gas for me. So every little bit counts. If you guys like that, please hit the like button, check out the channel for more, subscribe and share, and you can hit that alert bell to stay tuned for the next one. Take care.